talk about solving a quadratic using the quadratic formula. I'm going to take us through just one example, and that is this one. Your quadratic formula you've probably seen before, but if not, it is the formula x equals negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And if you've learned it in class, you've probably learned some sort of tune or mnemonic to go with it. There's lots of different ways to remember this. So you can just Google it and you'll see probably a bunch of different strategies for memorizing the quadratic formula. However you do it, I highly suggest that you memorize it because it is extremely helpful and used in a lot of different cases throughout the rest of your math career from here forward. So solving, I need to make sure first that my polynomial is equal to 0. So in this case, I do have a 0 over here on one side. So I can jump straight to identifying the a, b, and c values and plugging them into my quadratic formula. The a, b, and c values come from your standard form of a quadratic, which would be y equals a x squared plus bx plus c. So a is the coefficient on x squared, b is the coefficient on x, and then c is the constant. So looking at what I have, I see that my a is 2, my b is negative 5, and my c is negative 3. So I'm going to take these values and just plug them into the formula that I wrote off to the right. X equals negative b, and I'm going to put that negative 5 in the b spot, plus or minus the square root of b squared, put the negative 5 in parentheses because that exponent needs to go to the negative and the 5, minus 4 times a times c, all over. So that radical and that negative 5 out front all get divided by 2 times a, which is 2. When you are simplifying, we want to make sure that we start with our grouping symbols first. So underneath this radical, this is considered a grouping symbol. All of this is grouped together by that radical. So I'm going to simplify that first. That's actually called our discriminant, and that's something that will definitely come up later as well. I will do my exponents first, so I get 25, and I'll also do my multiplication of these three. When I multiply negative 4 and 2, I get negative 8 times negative 3 is positive 24. I divide 2 times 2, I'll just multiply, I get 4. I keep simplifying underneath that radical to get square root of 49 all over 4. And this one, I do know what the square root of 49 is, that's 7. So then I have just 5 plus or minus 7 all over 4. And I will split this up into the two cases of 5 plus 7 over 4 and 5 minus 7 over 4. I need to separate them because I can't add and subtract in one step. So I'm doing the adding case and the subtracting case separately. 5 plus 7 is going to be 12 over 4, which is 3, and 5 minus 7 is negative 2 over 4, which is negative 1/2. So my two solutions are 3 and negative 1/2. Now this one you could have factored and you probably would have gotten to the same result much quicker if you factored, but quadratic formula is always there. It's always going to work for your quadratic equation. So if factoring doesn't work, you can jump straight to quadratic formula, or if you're just not a fan of factoring, you can always use the quadratic formula. Okay, well I hope that helped. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.